Alright, so we're looking at example 1. And so what I did for example 1 was I redrew the table. So if you have the chance, I want you to pause the video and make sure that you actually redraw my table. So I rewrote my x values, 1/5, 2/3, 5/3, and my y values, 3/5, 2, and 5. And you also see right here that says ratio, so I wrote ratio right here. Now we always know that the ratio is y divided by x. And remember, the reason why the ratio is y to x is because you're trying to figure out what times x gives me y. And so if I don't know that, then we're going to divide y with x to figure out what that is. So here we have ratio 1. Here we have ratio 2. And this is ratio 3. Now the question is asking, is this table proportional or not? Which means that I have to test out each ratio to see if they actually equal each other. So this kind of is a lot of work, guys. So bear with me, and you got this. Do not worry. Here we have y over x. So what I'm going to do is draw this line right here to separate me actually writing out the ratios. So we know that the ratio is y over x. My y value is right here, which is 3/5 for ratio 1. So I know that's 3/5 over, and then we got x, which is 1/5. Okay, so 3/5 over 1/5. Remember, the fraction is division, so that's the same as 3/5 divided by 1/5. Okay, now we have in the do now, as you saw, we change. Now this changes to multiplication and you flip. So here we have dividing fractions, and now I don't know what 3/5 divided by 1/5 is, so I'm going to change this to multiplication. So remember, you keep the first number. Now we're going to change the division, and I'm going to show you right here. This becomes multiplication. Now, if we need to do that, what I need you guys to do is remember to write your arrow right here to remember that you actually have to flip 1/5. So this is a way for you to just always remember this flips to 5 over 1. So we multiply across. 3 times 5 is 15. 5 times 1 is 5. And then we simplify. So 15 over 5, 15 divided by 5 is the same as 3. Okay, so that's the first one. So I know that the first ratio equals 3. So I'm going to try the next one. We have, this is y over x. Now, my y value is 2. So we have 2 over, now my x value is 3, so 2/3. Now again, I'm going to rewrite this with division, with the division symbol. So that's the same as 2 divided by 2/3. Now again, we know that 2 is the same as 2 over 1, because 2 divided by 1 is 2. So that's just another way to rewrite a whole number as a fraction. Okay, so now we're going to divide 2 divided by 2/3. Now what I'm going to do is make sure, because we're going to change this to multiplication, that we actually draw our symbol, because I know that the second number always flips. So this is the same as 2 over 1. Instead of division, we're going to change it to multiplication, and because I changed it, I need to flip my second number, so 2/3 becomes 3/2, right? The denominator goes up and the numerator goes down. 2 times 3 is 6, 1 times 2 is 2. So 6 divided by 2 is 3. Whew, okay. So like I said, this is a lot of dividing fractions, which is fine. You guys need a lot of practice with that. So the last one is, so now I know that these all equal the same. That's cool. So the next one is y over x. Again, y value is 5. So this is the same as 5 over 5/3. Okay, so I'm going to write 5 divided by, this is the same as 5/3. Now 5, again, just like 2, is the same as 5 over 1. So I'm going to write my whole number as a fraction. And when we're dividing two fractions, remember that the second number, we always are going to flip it. So again, I'm putting that arrow to remind myself that this gets flipped. So this equals 5 over 1. Again, we change to multiplication times, we got 3/5, because I literally just flipped this fraction. So 3 goes up to the numerator, 5 goes down, and then we multiply across. We have 15 over 5, and we already have done this. 15 divided by 5 gives me 3. So when this asks you, and wow, this is a lot of work, which is totally okay, if this table is proportional, yes it is, because all of my ratios, if I divide y divided by x, that what I get is 3. So all ratios are equivalent to 3. And so here, what that means is now that we divided, I know that my constant is 3. So I'm multiplying all of my x values by 3 to get my y values. And we found that by dividing y with x.